loft. In Austin, I stalled, paused. My eyes crawled to a table. Paralyzed by pairwise dice, then attend to this heaven slice of an angel wrapped in skin. Throw dice and woes of life. Love deprived, looking to revive. What's the meaning of life? One subjective paradise. Crystal chandeliers, motives reflected. Often mirrors appear clear, grinning from ear to ear. Craving and raving and grain, rekindle the flame. Closer she draws near. Stay there, remove your underwear. Shove it somewhere over there. In paradise, we know our purpose. In paradise, we know what our worth is. In paradise, we manifest dreams. In paradise, truth is what you conceive.
Boom, yes it is. The truth is what you can see. Hello everybody, and welcome to this edition of the Unpopular Hour. Of course, I'm your host, Matt Clark. I hope everybody's doing good today. It's a little nippy out there. This Oklahoma weather, man, it's just got me going crazy. I mean, 1 minute it's -6, the next is 70. I'm on the golf course, hit some golf balls. The next minute I'm freezing. I mean, it drops, 20 degrees. Yesterday I went to the gym and to train kids and felt pretty good. Come outside 2 hours later and I'm not effing, but I'm freezing. It's cold outside. I'm like, man, what is the deal? Cannot just stay. For a person that has allergies, you know exactly what I'm saying. I mean, it's up and down. You can't breathe. You can breathe. You're sick. You're not sick. It's just crazy. But I'll just be glad when it warms back up so we can start going back to our normal places, going to Georgia's Happy Hog, going over to Industry to do our Wednesday show, going to Cat's Tavern, doing a patio. We're going to be going to a couple other places that we've got. My nephew's place, Genofia's, which is my sister's place, over by Douglas High School. We're going to go do some stuff there. We've got a bunch of different locations we're going to be going and doing remotes at. Doing Thunder games. After Thunder games, we're going to be going to different locations and doing Thunder games on the patio. Like, I talked to my guys over at Industry, and they really want me to come over there and do some Thunder games there. But the problem is they close kind of early, so if it's a late Thunder game, it's kind of hard because if the game's at 8:30 like it is tonight, it won't be over till 10:45, 11. Well, by the time we come on, they close at 12. It's just, so it's kind of hard to do it. Like, we go to Rococo's. We'll be doing our Rococo deals at lunch at Rococo's, which, I love me some Rococo, as everybody knows. My guy Bruce over there and Jason, the chef over there, just love Rococo's. They take very good care of me. And if you've been to Rococo, you know exactly what I'm talking about, okay? Best crab cakes by far in Oklahoma City. And then, of course, Georgia's, they got the barbecue. We love there. My sister's, my nephew's place, Genofia's, right across from Douglas, right there on 8th and Martin Luther King. If you haven't been there, you need to go there. Got some good food there. I've had several different things there. My nephew's doing a fantastic job there. Then, of course, we're going to go out and see my guy Ross Crane over at the Crane. Told Ross we're going to go out to the Crane and we're going to do a show there. Cannot wait. Haven't gotten out there yet to enjoy his food, but I will be going out there to do some out there. So we've got a great spring coming up. Now that it's going to be warmer, we can get out more, because when it's cold, I don't want to get, if it's wet, if it's snowing, if it's rain, I don't get my equipment out there. I'm not really interested in that. But we are excited about getting out more and more and more this spring when it warms up. And then, of course, once a month we go to YNB and do our thing there. So I'm excited about doing that and just getting back out there into the public. So, Thunder tonight. We played the Grizzlies. Oh, why is that? Why is that not right? That shouldn't be right. That is wrong right there, guys. Sorry about that. Let me fix this real quick. Let me get off of this. I had this fixed. I don't know why. My Thunder game report is not on there. That's dumb. It's for NBA games today is what that was. Thunder game today. Here's my Thunder game today. Let me pull that back up because that's not supposed to be on there. I hit the wrong thing. Ace was, if you guys know, my fat boy Ace is my baby boy. And he demands dad's attention. And, I was trying to do some stuff and he's jumping on my leg and bringing his ball to me and wanting to throw the ball. and all of that. And I'm like, boy, you need to chill out. And of course, if you've got a dog, you know exactly what I'm saying. You say what you want to, and it doesn't end up being the way that you want it to be. So anyway, back to the Thunder. Like I was saying, okay, I fixed that real quick. There we go. There's the Thunder game today. Let me get that back up. Tendo, hello. Keep up the good content. Thank you very much, Tendo. I appreciate you. A lot of people get mad at me because I say stuff that it's not necessarily what the Thunder want to hear, but I'm giving you stuff that's actually out there and actually telling you the truth and not trying to sugarcoat it. And I am a huge Thunder fan, and I do want us to win. But anyway, Thunder tonight, we're 15-11. And the game's at 8:30, and it's going to be on ESPN tonight, which is great. I don't have to listen to that FanDuel nonsense. I got to actually know what people mean. And there's no such thing as push shots. You got actually people out there telling you correctly what shots are. You're not trying to come up with these cool little sayings that are just ridiculous. So I'm excited about that. Playing the Grizzlies, 38-23. The Grizzlies, we're minus 8.5, so they're plus 8.5, over under 249.5. Now, when I saw this earlier, I was like, man, ESPN games, so we're getting to be on TV more and more, which I like, because the more we're on TV, the thing that I like about it is that they say the same things I say, pretty much, or they will be, because what's going to happen is the more they see us, the less Dagnall can get away with stuff that he's doing. That he can play SGA the same amount of minutes, because they're going to ask, SGA's been sitting a long time on the bench over there in the fourth quarter, which is stuff that we say all the time. But when nationally you see it, and they start seeing that he's sitting on the bench for 7 minutes, they're going to wonder, what's the coach doing? So his coaching style and what he's doing are going to start to come into question, in the way he does things. Oh, he's a great coach. He's this. No, we're winning in spite of him, not because of. And that's what's going to come to fruition. But tonight, the question is, 8.5, how much is that, and what does that actually say? And to me, it's really simple, because this is why. And this is what bugs me about the Thunder, okay? Here's our Thunder injury report. We're going to start putting this out on our show so that people can kind of know who's going to play, who's not, what the situation is. Isaiah Joe, he's questionable because of his back. And then, of course, Alex Caruso's ankle. And we saw him roll his ankle. So anyway, we're going to be bringing this out. Now, this is what always bothers me, because when we play teams, the more players they have out, the more we struggle. Houston, missing 4 guys. We lost to the Spurs earlier year without their top 3 scorers. When we don't play teams that don't have all their players, we struggle. And I don't know if it's because mentally, here we are playing against these teams. They don't have their guys against us. Houston the other night, we struggle early, but we end up winning the game because of our defense and what we do. Questionable. John Morant, which I believe he'll play. Aldama, maybe. Concha, Scottie Pippen Jr., and then, of course, Jaren Jackson Jr. is out, and Kawamura is out. So I believe Ja will play. That's just me. And seeing he played. But, of course, Jaren Jackson Jr. got hurt the other night going up and blocking a shot against the Hawks. And, of course, the Hawks, then Memphis, Bane gets the ball stole from him, and they score at the buzzer to win the game. The other night they lost to the Hawks. So, like I said, the thing that bothers me about this game is really simple. We beat the brakes off them the last time we played them at their place. And so now we're playing them again. And I think that they're going to want to give us a little payback because of that. Now, a lot of it has to do with Ja and him missing all that time that he missed. And he hasn't been really the same player. I mean, he does his dynamic stuff, and he has his moves, and he has his dunks, and he has all these things that his acrobatic stuff that he does, but not as much as he used to. And I think a lot of that has come with the time that he's missed. And then the other night, throwing a ball up in the stands. What are you doing? I mean, it's just stuff like that. Like I said yesterday, being fined $25,000. Really? I mean, come on. Trent, Zach Edey has a full play with Chet Howard. Yes, he does, Trent. Yes, he has a full play with both of those guys today. And you know what? This is the way I look at it. I like Zach. And, when we were talking about the draft earlier, some people, when we were doing our chat, and people were wanting Zach Edey, I'm like, what do we want Zach for? He's the thing, the Thunder last year, we led the league in attacking the basket as a team. Why do you want to put a guy who's not a three-point shooter inside the lane? For what reason? You want to keep it open, and the thing that iHeart brings to the Thunder is that Chet brings to the Thunder, we clear out the lane, and we are a perimeter-style offense. And what does iHeart give us? He gives us the ability to make passes, and he's fantastic at throwing passes. He really is. And so what is he averaging in the last 20 games? I did a little thing. I pulled up this cool little stat. iHeart is averaging 3.4 assists a game, simply because of his passing. He made a beautiful backdoor cut to pass the SGA the other night and doing the things that he does. So iHeart gives us so much more. Plus, we went from 30th to 23rd in giving up offensive rebounds. So that right there has helped Chet. Now, Trent, I do agree with Zach with the thing is you're going to bring Zach out. And that was part of the problem last time they played us. When we go small and we're knocking down threes, it's hard to be big against us. And like I always say, this is the thing. When that 5-minute mark of the first quarter, when J-Dub goes to the bench and you have SGA, Kaysen, Caruso, well, Caruso's not going to play, so let's say SGA, Kaysen, Wiggins, K-Rich, and let's say Chet, even though he plays Chet with J-Dub instead of iHeart with J-Dub. Because to me, J-Dub and iHeart play really well together and have since iHeart's got him with the team. SGA and Chet have always played good together after last year and this year. They play great together, but the coach tries to cover J-Dub as much as he can by putting iHeart and Chet together, and then he ended up playing SGA and with those two the other night, which I don't really like that. I mean, I do as a group, as a starting group. But off of that, I don't want them playing together. I want SGA, Kaysen, Caruso when he's healthy, Wiggins, and or K-Rich, and Chet. Because that's the group that rolls. Then you come back and then you come in with a different group. But he has to cover up J-Dub because of his lack of ability to really score and to do things. So he's got to because you notice, who's he been putting together with that? Kaysen, J-Dub, iHeart, Chet, and then K-Rich or Wiggins. That's who he's been putting together. Kaysen, J-Dub, Wiggins, iHeart, Chet, because he's trying to cover up J-Dub. He's trying to cover up the weaknesses that he gives us, that he doesn't provide for us. And you look, he's only averaging 19 points a game in the last 20 games. SGA is averaging 34. Trent says, what do you think about Kaysen Wallace? I haven't watched him a ton. I love me some Kaysen Wallace. Last year, when we were thinking about trading for when the noise was about Lauri Markkanen coming to the Thunder, they wanted Kaysen Wallace. Absolutely not. And we were at the Thunder game, and I was talking to some people about that last year, and they were like, well, Kaysen needs. I said, no. We keep Kaysen. Forget Lauri Markkanen, because Lauri Markkanen comes here. Yes, he will increase our chances of winning 100%. But then we got to pay him all this money. And remember, you got to pay Chet. You got to pay J-Dub. Then in 2 years, you got to pay SGA. You don't have enough money to pay Markkanen too. Plus, I ain't trying to give up Kaysen Wallace. Now, this year, you want to add Cam Johnson, but I'm not giving up Topic either for next year. Why? Because A.J. Mitchell, and we have a trend, I don't know if you ever watch our show, After the Storm, which is our Thunder post-game analysis show. We have this guy on there, Hotspot Casino. And Hotspot was telling us about A.J. Mitchell and blah, blah, blah. And we're like, nobody in our chat was like, man, whatever. And he was 100% right. A.J. Mitchell taking the ball out of J-Dub's hands. He was the facilitator. J-Dub was the off guy. That second unit rolled. It rolled in the second and fourth quarters early. And then what ended up happening is he got hurt. So then now you're trying to figure out how to cover up J-Dub because he's not a ball handler. He's just not. So how do you cover that up, which is what Topic will be next year. So to answer your question about Kaysen, I love Kaysen. You look at his numbers, from where they started this year, you look at his numbers, and we'll pull it up here in a little bit. But when you look at his numbers this year, they don't look that good, but they really are. Kaysen started at like 20-something% shooting from the field and teens from three, and now he's at 30s and 40 or 40s and 30s. So his future with us is going to be great. And this is the thing with the Thunder. Caruso's our oldest player at 31. He's our oldest player. But when you take away him, I think next is Ihart at what, 29? And then after that, SGA is 26. Uh, uh, Dort is 26. Everybody else is 23 or younger. So Case's future is going to be up like this. Why? Because when you look at Wiggins and you look at SGA and you look at Dort and you look at Chet and you look at what else do we have? We have K. Rich. You look at that group, we're young. You look at J. Will. Our team has the potential, but we're still short that extra guy, which would have been Cam Johnson. But I'm not giving you Topic because I know Topic is going to be our future. And especially if he is, like I said, if he's 90% of what was projected to be, because nobody knows how you're going to come back from the ACL. Now remember, he got hurt early. So by the time the season starts in October of 2025, he got hurt in June of last year. So he would have had 18 months, 17 months to be completely healthy, and he'll be playing. So he'll be fine. So when you add SGA, J-Dub, Kaysen, Topic, Dort, Caruso, Wiggins, Chet, Ihart, and then I mentioned Isaiah Joe, and he's out. That's 10 right there. Then you add K. Rich, that's 11. Now, that being said, when the playoffs come, you can't play 10, 11 guys. Or 11, 12 guys. You could probably play 10 here and there, but not in a game, depending on who the game is. Some guys got to sit. But SGA is playing. J-Dub's playing. Chet's playing. Caruso's playing. Wiggins is playing. Ihart's playing. Wiggins is playing. Those 7 for sure. Then, depending on what you need, Isaiah Joe, where he's going to be playing. So that's 8. So you know those 8 are playing. Now the question is, who plays after that? Do you really need K. Rich? How much are you going to need him? Is A.J. Mitchell going to come back? Then we're going to need him to be on that second unit. And the question is, how long is it going to take him to get into flow? So a lot of those things are going to come to fruition. But to Trent, to say this, Case and Wallace, I love me some Case and Wallace. He's getting better defensively. He's ridiculous defensively. But he's getting better offensively, understanding his role and how he fits on this team. That's to knock down threes. That's to take care of defense. That's to get out in transition. Those are what we expect from him, and he is starting to really flourish when it comes to that. So, now back to the game tonight. Part of, like I said, I worry about is the fact that we have a schedule coming up, okay? And let me pull that up real quick for everybody. Because to me, what's going to happen with the Thunder schedule coming up is going to be crazy, okay? And I've got our last game is tonight. This will be game number 10 because we do 10 games at a time. So this will be game number 10. Right now we are 7-2 in our last 9 games. We won 4 straight. We have the Grizzlies tonight. We should handle our business with them because I don't believe that they'll be able to deal with us offensively, or our defense will take care of them. That's what I believe. Okay, because they're going to come out and they're going to want to come at us. And they're going to want to do this and that. But my thing is this: number one, if SJ comes out and he's smoking, and he's aggressive from the very beginning, then it makes our team relax. Every time SGA is scoring, our team relaxes. It makes a huge difference to what happens with our team. Remember, we have players who are not playmakers, but players who make plays. We have one playmaker. J-Dub is not. Chet's not. Caruso's not. Kaysen's not. Wiggins not. Dort's not. Ihart's not. Isaiah Joe's not. When those guys try to start making plays is when the turnovers and stuff happens. And a lot of the other thought is, okay, if they're doing that, then what does that say for us? Let me see. My guy Jose Fierro says we're going to win it all this year, Thunder up. I hope so, bro. But we got a long way to go. So tonight, the Grizzlies. This is our last game of our 10. We need to go 8-2. That's 5 in a row. Then here's when the schedule gets a little tricky for me. I really worry about Friday night because of the simple fact that it's the Blazers. You say you're going to that first game. Good, bro. I'm glad to know that. Uh, to the Nuggets, back-to-back Nuggets is tough, though. Right. I agree. I'm not going Sunday because I'm going to work. I'm going to go to the game Monday night. But if the game at noon on Sunday will be on ABC, so we'll come back and we'll do our show after that. So we'll do that. But anyway, this is what worries me. Friday night game really, 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 really worries me because we have the Nuggets back-to-back. Then we have the Celtics. Then we have the Pistons. And remember, the Pistons beat the Celtics. Everybody forgets that. Pistons beat the Celtics. Don't sleep on them. Bucks are playing well, too. So we have a nice 5-game stretch there. And the Blazers are sitting between tonight, and then it's sitting between tonight and Sunday. Sunday is going to be a huge, and my thing is this. If the Thunder can stay focused on just doing one game at a time, now look ahead. But look, what we got now is we got the Grizzlies. So let's handle stuff tonight. Then on Friday night, let's handle the Blazers because the Blazers, even though we beat the brakes off them pretty much every time we see them, you still have to worry about looking ahead towards the Nuggets on back-to-back. So that game really worries me as a trap game. Then you have the Nuggets on Sunday at noon, and then we have Monday night at 7. And I'm looking at these games going, it's gonna be ugly what's gonna happen in that. It really is. It's gonna be ugly because of the simple fact that the Nuggets really want us. Really bad. But here's the advantage. And we're gonna go to the schedule or the standings here in a minute. We have 2 games remaining against the Nuggets. Both of them are at home. We have 2 games remaining against the Lakers. Both of them at home. We have 1 more game against the Grizzlies. That's gonna be here. We're going to be done with the Celtics. We're going to be done with the Bucks. And we'll be done. I think we have 1 more with the Sixers. But with our main contenders coming in that group is the 2 against the Nuggets, who are in 3rd place. 2 against the Celtics, who are in 2nd place. The Grizzlies, I believe, are in 4th right now, 3rd or 4th. And we'll pull that up in a minute. So here's our schedule. Tonight, handle our business against the Grizzlies, which I think we will. I think eventually the 3rd and 4th quarter, which we eventually beat people down towards the end of the 3rd quarter and definitely the middle of the 4th quarter because of our defense. And we make the plays that we need to make. So I think we'll get them. Friday, like I said, worries me because it's a trap game because we have the Nuggets on Sunday and then on Monday. So those games do worry me as far as what we have coming up. Grizzlies are in bad form right now. 3-7 in the last 10. I agree. It's because Jaws being in and out, and now with Jaren Jackson Jr. out, which is what we just posted a while ago, who was going to be missing. But it worries me, Trent, every time we play against teams who don't have their full roster, we struggle. Because mentally, I don't know if we're not focused or whatever, but it's something weird about that. So that scares me a little bit. But I think that if SGA, who struggles against Memphis, now remember, he struggles against Memphis. If he's rolling and doing what he needs to do, then we're going to be fine. And we won't have any issues. That's kind of how I look at it and kind of how I look at the way that we should be doing things, the way things should work. But still, it's going to be tough in making things work the way that they should. But the Thunder should be okay, and we should do the things that we need to to get done. I do believe that, okay? I do believe that. Because when you look at the standings, and this is the key. This is the key. The standings are the key. And you'll be popping this up in a second. Sorry, I had to blow my nose. Here's the standings. The Thunder, right now. We're 15-11. And these are updated, by the way, as of today. Thunder, we're 15-11. We're up 10.5 games. Lakers, 39-21. Winners of 7 in a row. Nuggets, 39-22. 11 games back. Grizzlies, 38-23, 12 games back. So what I was saying is we have 2 games against the Lakers left, both of them at home. We have 2 games against the Nuggets, both of them at home. We have 2 games against the Grizzlies. One more. We have their game tonight, and we have one more against us at home, I believe. Then we have the Rockets one more time in Houston. The Warriors were done, which there you can see they're surging. And I forget who it was on our show after the storm was talking about that they thought that the Warriors, because the Warriors were ninth, I believe, when we were talking about this, when we had the schedule up. And they believe based on the Warriors schedule and now with Jimmy Butler, they're 9-1 with Jimmy, that they would be coming, excuse me, not 9-1, but they would be coming back against them. Yeah, they're 9-1 with Jimmy, I believe is what they are. Because Steph has to have somebody roll with him. So that being said, the Warriors, or they said the Warriors would move up, and they are. They're now at 6. They're right there behind the Rockets, and they are coming. Okay? Then you have the T-Wolves at 7th, the Kings at 8th, the Clippers at 9, the Mavs at 10. So that's who's going to be, for us, the Thunder. We have the T-Wolves, the Kings, the Clippers, the Mavs. Those are the 4 teams that we have to worry about, and then who knows who's going to be the 11th team. We don't know who the hell the 11th team is going to be yet. That could be one of several teams. That could be the 11th team, and we don't know who that's going to be at this point, simply because I don't really throw in who the teams are that are in 11th. But the 11th place teams right now are the Suns and the Trailblazers. Those are 2 teams fighting for 11th, and the Spurs. And I don't really worry about the Spurs, but Wemby, they're not going to get there. So, but anyway, those are the 5 teams that are playing for the play-in game. So as everything ended today, the Thunder would have the Kings. What's up, Burgess? How you doing? It'd be the Thunder versus the Kings, the T-Wolves versus the Lakers, the Nuggets versus the Warriors, the Grizzlies and Rockets. This is the way it would be. And I believe coming out of that, we would beat the Kings. The T-Wolves and Lakers, thank God they'd play each other, because that's going to be a war. And I believe that would go 7 games, 6 or 7 games, which means that would beat LeBron up. Then we would have the winners of the Grizzlies and Rockets, which I believe would be the Rockets. Okay? And I believe after that, then we would play the Rockets. I believe we would be the Rockets in 5, maybe 6 max, but we should get them in 5 or 6. I would think 6 is max. Then you have the Lakers and Nuggets. I think that's going to go every bit of 6 or 7 games. Every bit of 6 or 7 games. Then we'd end up playing the winner of that, which I probably would think, it's going to be the Lakers, because the Lakers, with the addition of Luka, is going to make it. It's going to be that little bit difference that they're going to need to get past them. But if Jamal Murray is Jamal Murray, which he tends to be, then that means the Nuggets are going to win. But regardless of that, the way it sits now, the Lakers was going to have to play 6 or 7 games. Then they'd have to play the Nuggets in 6 or 7 games. So if they did win and they played us in the Western Conference Finals, LeBron would be tired at that point. And then it would depend on Luka just to beat us. And with Luka we already know, going from Dort to Kaysen to Caruso to SGA, whatever, he's going to have, to J-Dub, he's going to have a tough time scoring, and LeBron is going to be wore out over that period of time, because he's going to have to play tons of minutes. And I don't care who you are, 42 is 42. And what is age? It's undefeated. So that's why I sit there and think the Thunder can make it, but the Lakers, if they, based on what they do, if they have to play the T-Wolves, they're not going to beat the T-Wolves in 5 games. That's a 6 or 7 game series. Now, I don't want to play. I'd much rather play the Lakers than the T-Wolves. If it comes down to if this scenario goes the way it is, okay? If the scenario goes to where it is the Lakers going 7 games against them, 6 or 7 games, then going 6 or 7 games against the T-Wolves. If they go 6 or 7, and then they go 6 or 7 against the Nuggets, and then they play us, I'm okay with that, with playing them. I don't think they can beat us. But if they're smoking everybody, if they're winning in 5, and they're winning in 5, and LeBron is fresh, and we're having a struggle, I think that's going to be a little tough on us to get past that group. But that's how I look at it. Now, in the East, the Cavs are just rolling, winning 11, but it's the East. They don't really, I mean, look at who they're playing. They've got the Magic, they've got the Heat. They don't really have any competition over there. So they're going to stroke and just beat the crap out of everybody, which they should. I mean, they beat the Celtics the other night. The Knicks are he's resting players, and they still can be there. But I'm not confident in them. The Bucks, they've only got two players, and they've got two great players with Giannis inside and Dame outside, 100%. The Pacers are still coming, but the Pacers don't scare me at all. The Pistons don't have enough overall talent to beat anybody in a to go to the finals. I don't think. I think it's the Cavs and the Celtics, and the question is, can the Cavs do what they need to do to beat the Celtics in 7? To me, that's what it comes down to. Because if the Cavs right now have to play the Bucks, that's going to be tougher than what people think it's going to be. Now, do I think the Cavs can beat the Bucks? Yes, I do. But on that other side of that, that's going to be a tougher game than what people think it's going to be, a tougher series. So we shall see how that works. So we're going to take our opportunity to thank our sponsors. I want to thank SRB. If you have needs for engineering, surveying, or planning, hit our guys up over there. They'd love to take care of you. If you have a water treatment plant in your city or county, hit those guys up, because as we always say, who the hell doesn't like clean drinking water? Oak Grove Trucking and my guy Jose Fierro, the Big Thunder guy that he is. Hit those guys up if you have needs for dirt, rock, or sand to be moved. They are the peeps to see. And of course, YNB, family owned and operated since 1912. They are the bank that makes things happen. They're an equal housing lender, a member of the FDIC, proud sponsor for us to go out and support women, minority, and black-owned businesses in the Oklahoma City area. You can pre-qualify online at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com. Or you can go online or you can go into one of their 5 locations. The main bank at 401M, 66 steps from historic downtown Yukon. YNB East, which is off the Parkway and 66th or 39th Expressway, however you want to look at it. YNB Mustang, 218 North Mustang Road. YNB Parkway off Garth Brooks and I-40, just south of I-40, right there in front of the hospital. Cannot miss it. Sitting right across from Louis. Can't miss it. By the way, Louis got a good steak over there. YNB Peoples, located on 23rd and Bethany between Rockwell and MacArthur. Cannot miss it. And then, of course, the House of Creed, handcrafted since 1760. Man, I'm going to tell you what, they got some good smelling cologne. I'm just going to tell you right now. I've had tons of compliments for my cologne. I mean, it's good stuff. Because as they always told me, Matt, remember, pick the best for your best. And I can promise you right now, go to Creed. If you're a man, go in there and pick their perfume. Their perfume is great. My boy Ace got our friend Jen, his aunt Jen, some great perfume. So you can go there and get some. And if you're a woman, hey, they got tons of cologne for you to get for your man, for him to smell good. And you can go into the Penn Square Mall and see my girl Beth at the men's Dillard's and the Penn Square Mall in Dillard's is where they are. Woodland Hills Mall in Tulsa, Town East Mall, Wichita, Kansas, Oak Park Mall in Kansas City, Missouri, Park Plaza Mall in Little Rock, Arkansas, South Plains Mall in Lubbock, Texas, and Westgate Mall in Amarillo. And like I've said, I have never been to Amarillo, which is weird, because they got that big steak place. I don't know if has anybody eaten there? Has anybody eaten all that steak before? I need to know if the commander has eaten there before, because if anybody could probably eat that whole steak, it would be him. But I heard it's pretty big. I don't think I'd probably have to starve all day long, get in there. I'd probably put a big dent in it, but I doubt if I could eat it as well, because you still got to eat the mashed potatoes or whatever, baked potato or whatever they come along with it. So I don't know if I can get all of that done, but I know that I'm going to get a hell of a try. I can promise you that without question. I'm going to give it the full effort, 100%. 100%. I know I am. So anyway, this is my thing. When I look at the Thunder, okay, and you look at why we're number 1, okay? Because I was talking to somebody about this the other day. They were like, well, we're number 1. The one thing about sports, all sports, baseball, football, basketball, hockey, tennis, not tennis, tennis too, and what's my other one? Soccer. Defense carries. Defense travels. And by that, what I mean is, if you've got a great defense, when you looked at Philadelphia against the Chiefs, Defense matters. If you look at, dang, my hair is all messed up, guys. Let me get that fixed. The defense travels. You look at baseball. If you can't get on base because they're making great plays in the defense and the infield, turning singles into outs, turning double plays, throwing you out, trying to go from second to third or second to home, they're throwing you out. Defense travels. In soccer, if you can't score and you got a great goalie, it's going to be hard for you to get in there, especially if you got a great team defense. Tennis, it's going to be hard if you can stop somebody every good shot they come back. You got a defensive play against it. It's going to frustrate them. So defense travels. So what does that say for the Thunder? And this is why the Thunder are who they are. This is why we're sitting on top. Okay, this is why we're sitting on top right here. We are number one in holding our opponents to 106.8 points a game. Now, since the All-Star break, we're number one in the league in scoring. Okay, and still number one in holding our opponents offensively. We're number one in scoring. Okay, but forget the scoring is nice, but you got to be able to defend. And then we have that bad boy SGA to close out games. Field goal percentage, we're first. 51.4. That's what teams average against us. 3-point percentage, we're first, 33.9. Free throw percentage, we're first. And remember, 3-point percentage, we were first shooting last year. It's top three or third last year. I forget exactly where we were. But that's where we were last year. Assists, 24.6. We're fifth. And that's what we give up. 24.6 assists a game is what teams averaged against us. So that means that we're stopping teams from doing what? That means we're stopping teams from getting points, assisting their players to score. Pips, points in the paint, 42.5. That's what we're allowing. Only 42.5 points a game inside the paint. That was one of our bigger issues, is because inside we were killing, because it helped us with Chet last year, but with iHeart has made a huge difference, and with Jay Will getting better as well. Steals, we're number one. 10.8 steals per game. And we're only getting stole the ball from us 6.6. That's number one. Blocks, we're fifth. Turnovers, we're number one. Opponents, 17.5, which means, number one, we're taking care of the basketball. That's what 11.6. We're taking care of the basketball because, remember, of those 11.6 turnovers, 6.5 of those are steals. People steal the ball from us. So of our 11 turnovers, 6 of them are we getting the ball stuff from us. 17.5 turnovers is what we're averaging opponents against us. 10.8 of those are steals. 10.8 of those are steals. And that makes all the difference. The Commander, hell yes. What are you agreeing with me on? You worry me, Commander, when you're agreeing with me stuff. It makes me nervous because, you're always coming up with something. Who knows what you're coming up with? He cracks me up. He does. So, second quarter points. We're averaging 30 points a game in the second quarter. That's third. Fourth quarter, we're only giving up 25.7 points. That's second. So why is that significant? Second quarter, we have the biggest plus minus. Third quarter, we have the biggest plus minus of any team in the NBA. Why? He sits Jade up with 5 or 6 minutes to go in the third quarter, and he puts in the right lineup, and we go on a run. Because it's lineups. Now, in addition to that, this is the Thunder. Defensive rating, we're first, as I showed you. I did show you that. Defensive rating, we're 104.5. That's first. I showed you what we were in points. Field goal percentage, I showed 3-point percentage. Turnovers first. We're first. This is the reason why the Thunder are who they are. These stats right here. That's why we're winning. That's why we're ahead. That's why we are 50-11. Now, when it comes to scoring and field goal percentage and 3-point percentage and free throw percentage. This is where we stand. SGA, 32.6 points per game, 50% from the field, 37% from three, 89% from the line. Now, this is what's crazy about him. This will be the third year in a row that he's averaged 30 and 50. That's insane. That's insane. 30 points and 50% shooting. J-Dub, 21.4 points per game, 47% from the field, 36% from three, 78% from the line. And J-Dub is getting better from the line. So that's numbers okay with me. Chet, 15 points a game, 49% from the field, 35 from three, 75 from the line, which these are all good numbers. Wiggins, 11.4, 49%, 39, 83. Hartenstein is the only thing that worries me. That's 65.5 worries me. Because if you think in the playoffs they're not going to foul him, to put him at the line thinking he's going to go 1 for 2, and we're only giving up 1 point instead of 2, or 1 point instead of 3 because of a pass that he's made, or an and 1, that's going to matter. Okay, guys? That 65% is going to matter. He's got to make free throws if he's going to play down the stretch, and we need him in the game because, to me, down the stretch, if you have SGA, J-Dub, Kaysen, or Dort. Now, I prefer Kaysen, depending on who we play, really. Because if it's Dort, if you're going against LeBron, you got to have Dort in there to back him up because J-Dub can't really handle LeBron. But you want, or Luka, you'd want to have Dort in there. But in the games, it just depends. Because Ihart and Chet. Now, if I have my 5, I'd rather have SGA, J-Dub, Kaysen, Dort, and Chet. Or Wiggins and Chet. If I had to have my 5. Okay? But if I want to make a run in the fourth quarter, take J-Dub out with about 6 minutes to go, 6:50, 6:6, sit right at 7 minutes. Take him out, sit him for 3 minutes, and then give me SGA, Kaysen, Caruso, Wiggins, and Chet for those 2 to 3 minutes. Let me make a run, bring J-Dub back in with the 4-minute mark, and we'll be rolling. Because I can promise you, if the Thunder are going to win, it's going to be because of the others. That's what Kaysen shoots from 3, which we talked about earlier, 33.7%. Caruso, 33.9. Kendrick's 33.9 is what that is, not 3.9. Dort, 39.6. Wiggins, 39.7. Chet, 35.9. J-Dub, 36.4. If we're going to win, those guys had to make shots. Now, I don't know how much J. Will play, but that's what it's got to be. If the Thunder are going to win, it's really simple. You got to put the ball in SGA's hands, let SGA do what he does, because if he scores a couple times in a row and our team relaxes, we're unbeatable. Because players don't have to they don't have to be playmakers. They just got to make plays. Because when you looked at what Minnesota did, Minnesota took SJ completely out. They put us in a zone. They did a boxing one on him. They made everybody else beat us, and we missed 14 straight threes. Not once did anybody go to the basket. That's coaching. That's not having anybody who's been there before on the bench to say, Coach, this is what they're doing to us. This is what we need to do. Then what do we play? New Jersey, they do the exact same thing. Hawks do the same thing. Double team SGA, they're double teaming J-Dub when SGA is on the bench. Now, I do believe if we have Ihart, if we have Chet, we don't lose against Minnesota. Okay? I 100% believe that. We don't lose that game. But coaching matters. What he does matters. His lineups matter. Flow of the game matters. Minutes management matters. Those things matter to whether we're going to win or lose this championship. If he starts minutes managing what he's been doing for 5 years, we're not going to win because it's going to cause him to mess up his lineups, and it's going to cause him to not understand the flow of the game because he's managing minutes. His managing minutes is either going to help us win or lose the chip, plain and simple. You can get mad at me all you want to, but these are facts. The commander and I lie. We talk about it all the time. I talk about it with other guys all the time who understand basketball. He's managing minutes. J-Dub should not play the same amount of minutes as SGA. You are a minus with him on the bench, and you're sitting him to play somebody else more than him because you're developing him. Bro, we're trying to win. We ain't trying to develop. And until Sam Presti puts that in his head and changes Sam Presti's mind from being a developmental team to a team that could potentially win a champ, we've got the next 5 years, guys, SGA is going to be 31. He's still going to be in his prime. J-Dub's going to be 27. Chet's going to be 27. Caruso's going to be, I mean, not Caruso, Cason's going to be what, 25, 20, 26? Dort's going to be 31? You've got a 5-year window here right now that you can win. Not develop players. Forget all that. You have a 5-year chance you can win a couple chips in the next 5 years. If you quit managing minutes and understand one thing, you've got one player who's your playmaker. That's SGA. You've got others. J-Dub's not a playmaker. He's a player who makes plays. He's not a playmaker. There's a difference. Now, I believe when Topic comes next year, like I said, if he's 90%, you've got him running the point and then playing together. That second unit is going to be crazy. Defensively, we're going to be just as good. When A.J. Mitchell comes back, hopefully he can continue to where he was, taking the ball out of J-Dub's hands. That way they can't double team. He can make the plays because he's a point guard. He understands. But it's going to take him a while because he's been gone to get back in shape. And he's going to get back, next week, I think, or the week after, 2 weeks from now is his 10th week, which they'll evaluate him. And then the 4th of, I believe it's the 4th against Houston, will be his 12th week, and we want 12th week out for his evaluation. So he should be playing by then, right before the playoffs really start in, which will give us 6 or 7 games for him to play that he'll get into the flow, like we bringing Chet in. So you have a 5-year window. But this coach has to understand, dude, you have to change all that, get all that developing talent stuff out your head. Last year, we were the youngest team, and as I said last year, bro, miss me with that nonsense. You have a team that has, for 3 years, how did we win? We played great defense, SGA closed the door. Then you add J-Dub. What happened? Or for 2 years. Then what happened? J-Dub. We played great defense, SGA closed the door. Then last year, we played great defense, SGA closed the door. And then what did you do? You changed lineups. We lost. What did we do in the cup? You changed lineups. What happened? We lost. Every time the coach changes a lineup, we lose. Stay with what works. Keep your flow together. Now, you can't play. You're hiding J-Dub with what you're doing, and it's okay if that's what you want to do. We get it. I mean, I get it. You're hiding him. You're putting players around him because he can't make plays, which means that you give SGA less people to play with, or less 5 to play with, which is okay because SGA is just going to score. And then that's going to relieve the pressure for K-Rich. He's going to play defense. Jay Will needs to take the charges. Then you've got Kaysen in there doing what Kaysen does. And, whoever the Dort is the other. And I don't like Dort. I like Dort playing with J-Dub. I like Hartenstein playing with J-Dub. I like Chet and Wiggins and them playing with SGA. Because Wiggins has to do less, and all he has to do is catch those threes and knock them down. He don't have to do a lot of work, and then it takes away from his defense when he's trying to score. And most people don't understand. A two-way player, there's very few of them out there who can play defense and score. Because defense takes so much out of you to be able to score. That's why I want Wiggins to go back to playing defense and hitting threes and cut to the basket here and there. But how many times he's given up layups or giving up offensive rebounds? Because he's watching. Why? Because he's tired. Because he's too busy worrying about his offense, not his defense. And I bet you he's given up more offensive rebounds in the last month than he has in a year. Why? Because now he's focused on scoring. And once again, that's fine if you want to focus on scoring. Well, why the hell didn't you do that last year or the year before? Now you're going to wait till we're possibly going to win to try to get him to turn him into this instead of doing it last year, the year before. And now when you got to it, he's going to be used to it. He'll be used to playing defense and scoring. Now you're going to put it on him now, this midway through the season, at the end of the season? How about going by what got you there? Great defense. Wiggins knocking down threes. Joe knocking down threes. Casey knocking down threes. SGA doing what SGA does. J-Dub playing off that. Why don't you go back to that? SGA has 20 points in the first quarter of our 30, and you're sitting for 7 minutes. You are the cooler. Nobody else can stop SGA but our coach. That is how SGA, that's how the Thunder get beat. Because other teams understand what he is doing. And they use his own philosophies against him to get teams on a run because they know he's going to sit in for those 2 minutes. That 6:47 mark, when that timeout comes, he should come in the game. But you wait until after that timeout to play a couple more minutes and then put him on the side and get him in. Well, that could be 2 minutes, that could be 3 minutes before something happens and he gets in the game. Teams use that against the Thunder because he doesn't put him in there right then. The other night, the Knicks game, what happened? Steph Curry. 7.5 minute mark, boom, timeout, boom, or substitution. Here comes Steph. No, not Dagnall. He's going to sit him to the 6 minute mark so J-Dub can get those minutes in. I got to build me a player. Forget all that nonsense. Guys, come on. And there's no way that the Thunder don't have all the metrics to tell you, to support exactly what I'm saying. There's no way in hell. There's no way in hell they don't have it. There's no way. You know that it's SGA, Kaysen, Caruso, Wiggins, and Chet, or Dort and Chet, or Ihart. That's your best five, and you make your run. There's no way in hell you don't know that. There's no way in hell you don't know that. But instead, you put SGA, Kaysen, Dort, K-Rich, and J-Will together. And then you put Kaysen, Wiggins, J-Dub, Chet, and Ihart together. Really? Those aren't that's the five that help. That's your starting five basically in the future. Forget all that nonsense. How about winning games now? But you're winning games no matter what. Why? Because SGA just says, to hell with what you're saying. Let me go ahead and get these buckets, and everybody else relaxes. And once everybody relaxes, because he's making baskets, our team is unbeatable. Now, you as a coach should know that. You're not going to develop SGA. He's already there. Have you developed J-Dub? Yes. Have you developed Chet? Yes. Are you developing Kaysen? Yes. Did you develop Wiggins? Yes. K-Rich? Yes. 100%. But we're there now, so why don't you put the ball in SGA's hands, let him do his work, and then everybody else will just relax and play. But instead, you don't do that. And it's going to get the Thunder beat against coaches that know better. Because as I said many times, the difference between the Thunder and the Celtics got out-coached by Eric Spoelstra in the conference finals. The Heat went to the finals. What did they do? They went out and they got what? Porzingis, Drew Holiday, got rid of Marcus Smart. Then they added 2 veteran coaches to the coaching staff to help him through situations. The Thunder get it out-coached 100% by Jason Kidd. 100% he got out-coached. And what did the Thunder do? Add Caruso, add Ihart, get rid of Josh Giddey. It did 0 to improve the coaching staff. We have a very good coaching staff, but you have no veteran coaches on there to help you through situations. And that's the difference between what the Celtics and the Thunder did. The Celtics are trying to win the chip, so this is how we're going to do it. We're going to improve our inside presence, we're going to improve us defensively, and we're going to improve our coaching staff so we can help. So when situations arrive, we have people who have been through it before to help him, guide him through. And then one of them leaves and look at him again. But that's not what Sam Presti did. Rashawn, these past few weeks you made me realize to jump in on my OKC position because of the coach. I lost faith. I'm not. Too many coaches realizing what you're saying. Too many coaches, I know they are, but don't lose faith. No, that's not what I'm saying, Rashawn. What I'm saying is the Thunder, it's not like he doesn't know. He has to change his philosophy and the way he's thinking, and we will win. But he's got to figure it out. He's got to stop this trying to make J-Dub and trying to develop us in a team. We have a 5-year window to win the chip. We can win it 2-3 times, easy. If he will just go, SGA is the guy, you get in your position, you do this, we will win. It's not rocket science. But he's over here trying to develop this lineup. Dude, we're 61 games in. You don't know who he is by now? You don't know what position, how good someone is by now? Really? We figured that out a long time ago. So, Rajon, you don't lose faith. What you do is go, hey, listen, you watch and say, hey, are you going to change your mind? Are you going to change your philosophy? Are you going to quit managing minutes? SGA and J-Dub should never play the same amount of minutes. Never should J-Dub play more minutes than SGA. You are a plus whether J-Dub is in the game or on the bench. You are a minus when SGA is on the bench, and you're a plus with him on the floor. But yet you go ahead and you do what? You play this guy more than you do the guy, and you're a minus. And you play somebody when he's the minus, your team is minus with him on the bench. And you play somebody else who you're plus whether he's in the game or not in the game. More than you do somebody that you're a minus and put him on the bench. How is that coaching? You're a minus with him on the bench. And what's going to happen is, when it gets in games and you start doing this, ESPN, TNT, they're going to put you on blast, just like they did last year in the playoffs. Everything that I had been saying, everything Nathan had been saying, Nathan Taylor, YMB, everything my boy Randy Wright, the commander's been saying, everything we were saying that people were jumping on us about, boom, there it went. Everything I said last year came to fruition. Everything. Now, what I'm telling you again is going to happen again. We are not going to make it. We're not going to win if he doesn't stop managing minutes and saying SGA has got to play this amount. J-Dub, they are not the same. You can't sit SGA for 7 minutes. He had 20 points in the first quarter. He's rolling, and you sit him for 7 minutes. 7. He's rolling. He's the best player in the league. He still went and got 50. He could have got 60 or 70 if you let him, if you play him and go, hey, I got a superstar. He's rolling. Let's go. Let's roll with him. Because guess what? Remember, he's missed the fourth quarter 14 times. 14 times he's missed the fourth quarter. How about him doing what he does, and then you sit him again and he misses 16, 17, 18 fourth quarters? Why? Because he's busting people up. He's playing the same amount of minutes, but he's not having to play in the fourth quarter. Because you're not sitting him for 7 minutes in the 6:47 when timeout comes, he comes in the game in the second quarter. Fourth quarter, 6:47, he don't have to play that because you're playing him the whole third quarter. So let's say whole first quarter, whole third quarter, 24 minutes. He comes in with 7 minutes to go. Let's say 6:47, let's call it 7. That's 31 minutes. He don't even play the fourth quarter. Makes a difference. If you're worried about minutes management, you're worried about time. So, anyway, that's enough of my ranting and raving. So, Thunder tonight, 8:30. ESPN. Thank God we don't have to listen to FanDuel. Boy, I'm so excited about that. Man, boy, I'm happy. And guess what? Next year we're going to have to listen to him less. The next year we're going to have to listen to him less. Thank God. I don't have to hear a damn push shot. I don't even know what the hell that is. I have no idea what the hell a push shot is. No such thing. So, anyway, everybody have a great day today. Enjoy yourself. Be ready for the Thunder tonight. I will be watching the game, and then we will be coming on, unless it's a blowout, because the game will be on late. But after the storm, we'll probably come on anyway and talk about a little bit about the game, maybe not.